Hello, this is Meg at Chasing Retro. Today, I thought I would bring you along while I craft some quilted tags. These can, I guess, be called fabric or paper quilted tags, either one, because I'm using both paper and fabric. I'm starting out with a piece of mint blue cardstock, mint green ice blue, and these are some hexagon quilt squares that I got at a thrift store a while back, and I'm just using a glue stick to adhere them in the type of pattern that they would have if they were made into a quilt. These are, of course, for the rainy day rain themed journals that I'm working on, and so the colors are very as you can see here, I realized that these are not straight. So the great thing about glue stick is you can pull them back up and rearrange them and move them around. These are the colors that are going to be in the journals for the most part. I'm going to have a couple of pops of other colors as well, like yellow, but for the most part it's going to be light blue, dark blue, mint, purple, and gray. This is actually quite a relaxing project, and it can be done with any type of fabric shape. It does not have to be hexagons. You could do long strips, you could do squares, you could do all different sizes and shapes and just create like a smorgasbord of fabric pieces that you can sew together to create sort of a crazy quilt look. I'm so glad that I found these already cut out, because I really don't like cutting out shapes out of fabric. It's one of my least favorite things to do. I got this whole bag, I think there were probably 250 for $5, and I'm so excited that I have found so many fun ways to use them, because someone spent some time cutting all of these out at some point. As you can tell from the beginning of the video, it is raining here today, so what a perfect day to work on these journals, I thought. So I decided to create a little video montage of some scenes of rain, just because if it's the same for you, rain relaxes me and it makes me feel more creative. And you also probably saw our little kitty cat, Marcy. She is an indoor-outdoor cat. On rainy days, she likes to be inside, and quite often I set her on a chair next to me and she loves to watch me work on my projects. I love the hexagons because it looks like bathroom floors. The floors in our bathrooms in our house are the original late 1960s hexagon tile, and I would not change it for the world. I mean, I guess if we had a leak or something and I had to, I would, but I adore it. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day, enjoying the weather wherever you are. It was supposed to be sort of a washout here this weekend, but I think that the direction or the height of the front that was coming through has shifted a little bit, and so now we're dealing with the rain in the middle of the week, and we're supposed to have a nice weekend. I'm excited about that. I'm trimming off a piece of one of these to cover this corner so I don't have to waste another whole piece. Ideally, before you do this next part, you should let it dry a little bit better than I did, but I decided because of the video to go ahead and flip it and start trimming around the edges. all of these little pieces will go in my basket of scraps that I use for all kinds of different things. This is a great way to use some fabric in your stash that is solid colors, not printed. I'm not a huge fan of solid color material for junk journaling purposes. I'd much rather have a beautiful print, but this sort of creates its own print when you put them all together. So I have taken it to my sewing machine and I sewed all the way around with a zigzag stitch. As you can see, I think I have it on a height of 3.5 or 4, and the stitch width was 1.2. And so now I'm going through and I'm dividing this 8.5 by 11 sheet into 4 equal strips of 2.75 each, and I traced it, used the ruler to mark it on the back, and now I'm just cutting it. You could make several things here. You don't have to make tags. You could make pockets. You could make a belly band. You could make a side pocket. I decided to make these into tags, and I thought they might be a little too tall for the journals I'm working on, so I end up trimming off the end. But of course these pieces will go in my stash to use in other ways later. I'm not going to throw them away. I end up deciding to make the tags a little bit longer after this first one, so I'm just using it as a guide. So I step away for a moment to grab some metallic mirrored design, what is the word? Vinyl. This is actually vinyl that you would use for a vinyl cutter and make stickers out of, but I don't use my vinyl cutter very often to cut vinyl. I use it more for cutting cardstock. So I decided to go ahead and cut this large 12 by 12 piece into these raindrop shapes. I turned the piece over, I drew the raindrops, and then I cut them all out. I left the backing on. I did not peel off the backing and expose the sticky part, and I will just use these as they are, as sort of die cuts in a way. I'm using Fabri-Tac here just to hold them down, because the next step will require that they do not budge. Try not to get Fabri-Tac on the mirrored vinyl if you can. It is virtually impossible to get off. I got one little spot on one, but thankfully not anymore. So I'm going to take these over to my sewing machine and stitch around them, sort of applique style. I found the easiest way to do this is to not go slowly. As long as you're able to keep a pretty steady hand and a straight stitch, if you go quicker, your rounded edges will not be quite as bumpy. They'll be smoother. I'm not sure if that's clear what I'm trying to say, but I think I was on a speed 3 of 4 when I did those. And it's sort of like a applique stitch, but I'm using a zigzag instead of an applique stitch because I don't really need an applique stitch. I'm not going to throw these in the washing machine. These are just to tack them down. And I think they turned out so cute. You don't have to do the raindrop. You can do any shape. You can cut any shape out of vinyl, or you can use paper flowers or any polka dots, any shape you wanted to, and sort of applique them onto this quilt topped tag. Thanks for watching today. I appreciate all of you. Stay tuned for more putting together of these rain journals, and we'll talk to you in the next one.